Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ask Us Anything. We're Mike and Jennifer Wendland. And if this is a little wobbly, that's because the computer is on our lap and we are in the RV.
In a parking lot.
In the restaurant parking lot. And because there's a car parked next to me, I can't put out the slide out, which means I can't put out my desk where I normally keep the computer. So we have it kind of rested on our knee.
I said it would be so much easier just to tell everybody we're on a boat.
Yeah, we're on a boat. But they all know this is our
This is our RV.
So welcome to another edition of Ask Us Anything. It's Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And boy, there's a lot of you on already tonight. There were 85 of you waiting for when we came on live. 85. That's awesome. And
who is first?
Well, first up, at least that I can see, is Ethan Catella. He says, everybody looking forward to the stream. So, Ethan, thank you. I don't know what time you got there, but you were number one, followed by KK Kayak in Montello, Wisconsin. Peter is with us in snowy Montana.
Ooh, sounds nice.
Davis, Tandy, and Buster from Rochester, New York. Thanks for the auto generator start inquiry. I'll be installing one this spring along with the 2 kilowatt inverter. He was a guest on our podcast this week. Remember the podcast question we had? Yeah. So great. Thank you. I'm glad you caught that. Cattle Dog Cruisin'. Being a Florida resident, I'm just curious as to what state park in Florida is your favorite and why. Also, have you ever been to the Paynes Prairie Rescue? I'm sorry, I'm reading that too fast here. The Paynes Prairie Rescue State Park outside of Gainesville. We have. We've been to that one. That's an awesome spot. But our favorite is directly east of Paynes Prairie, and that would be Gamble Rogers.
I think that's my new favorite.
We absolutely love Gamble Rogers. They have 2 loops there. One loop, let's turn off the email alerts. So we got to do that. There's 2 loops at Gamble Rogers. One is on sort of the intercoastal waterway, and that's a nice spot. It's quiet,
very nice,
bigger lots. The other one is right on the Atlantic Ocean coast with, I think they have 34.
Yes, 34
right
sites
on that end, and that is just spectacular. We will have a video on that next Saturday that'll show you why we like Gamble Rogers so much. I hope all of you have seen the video that went live yesterday on our trip directly east on what's called the Forgotten Coast, which you want to demonstrate where that is with your hand and show them where?
No, it would be backwards, and I got to figure it all out.
Oh.
Michigan is so much easier.
That's the Florida Peninsula.
Yeah,
okay.
Kind of.
There's the big
everything's opposite.
Yeah, it's really hard when we put a. Let's see if I do it this way. Oh, never mind.
No,
anyway, if you don't know where the Big Bend is, look at the video. It's up on there.
Yeah, you got the Panhandle, and then the great big peninsula, and it's in the bend.
Yep. Hey, Phyllis has a great reminder for everybody, and she reminds us because we get so many comments in here, and I usually at the start always say, "Hey, I see everybody there," but if I spend all my time acknowledging everybody who checks in, I miss the questions, and we always miss questions. We only have a certain amount of time we can do this, so please mark Q or question at the start of whatever you type, and then I'll know, and we will be able to go to the questions. For example, like Eric here says he's in Ohio and say hello, and lots of you like Joseph says they're in Greenfield, Wisconsin, first time poster. Thank you, Joseph and Karen. But as we get into the program and more of you tune in, I'm not able to do that. So I'm looking for something like this from Eric. Question: Boondocking. How often do you shower and clean dishes? Every day. Every day we shower.
If you want to live with them, I just don't want to smell dirty dishes. If you don't mind the smell, I mean, it's just food.
Yeah.
I suppose you could do it when you run out of dishes.
But we can go 4 days with both of us taking a shower every day on our freshwater tank with a full freshwater tank. We can go 4, even 5 if we hurry with showers and with washing dishes. It's not that you don't use that much. So we do it every day. And we've showered in.
Then it depends on what you cook, whether you're going to use a whole bunch of pots and pans.
Make a mess,
or if you grill outside, if you prepare meals at home, how long you're going to be on the road.
We try to make it a general rule to grill or cook outside when we're boondocking. And I'm just trying to think. I was going to tell everybody where we showered. Where did we? Where did we shower? We boondocked in either a Cracker Barrel or a rest area, and we showered in.
That
When
was
was that?
Perry, Georgia. You're talking about Perry,
Perry. Did
Georgia?
we shower there?
We showered inside our rig when
Yeah,
we
at Perry,
boondocked.
Georgia. It was like a rest area. It's a welcome center. We stopped there the other day, and we showered
We
before
had
we
enough
hit the
water,
road. We had plenty of
so
water. Still, in fact, I haven't.
and they have a dump there
Yeah,
that you can use.
but we didn't have to.
I thought you did because
we did there, but you
because we
don't.
were
I'm
coming
saying
home.
what you don't have to dump every time you shower because
No.
the showers. If you have now, we have the Truma AquaGo heater, which hot water heater, which is just fantastic. It instant hot water, and you don't waste any water. On most of the RV showers, you turn it on and you got to wait for it to
Gotta
get
wait.
hot. You waste so much money.
Instant hot water.
That's what we have now.
Everything should be like that in
And-
your house, everywhere.
And so that it makes you very much more efficient in using like washing dishes or showering. So we do that. Lots of you saying hello, and I want to tell you that we go back and we appreciate it. But as Phyllis says, please put question in front of your questions so that I can find them easier because I'm talking to you guys
And reading.
and reading, and we're going good. So this is our new computer I'm on. I want to know how the microphone sounds. This is the new MacBook Pro 16-inch, and I got somebody said I should do a video on how we edit video and the equipment we use, the cameras, and how we get our internet. So like when we're doing these live shots, when we're doing our production videos that come out every Saturday morning, I'm curious if you think that we should do that. Let us know, and we can do it. But this is my new laptop. And
I think everybody wants to edit videos. They shoot pictures and some video.
it's a lot of work.
Well, a simple little lesson.
Yeah.
Not real fancy, but just
I can
some
show you what it's
basics.
about. Now, there's lots of ways to do it, but if that's what you want to see, just let me know that in the comments someplace that you'd like to see a video on how we work from the road and the equipment we use. But this is my new computer, and I am thrilled with this thing. I bought a brand new MacBook Pro. I upgraded one in the fall, and I got it in the middle of October. 2 weeks later, Apple introduced the new 16-inch version.
You are not in the inner circle, are
I'm not anymore, I guess.
No.
But Apple was, I was able to return this in time and return the old one and get this new one, and oh my goodness. But it's supposed to have a great new microphone system, so I'm going to be anxious to read your comments on what you think of the microphones. So I'm scrolling down, and I'm looking for people who type in question, like Gareth Jones from Canada. Where is your number one restaurant destination? Oh, I don't want to be boring. On the road?
Where?
Cracker Barrel. We seem to eat there way more
I'm
than we
sick
should.
of Cracker Barrel right now. I need a Cracker Barrel break.
Yeah.
Because we boondock there, we try to eat there.
When,
So I need a little break.
We often we choose to boondock in their parking lots. They're really quite quiet, and then I've always joke. I say I love it. I smell bacon when I wake up, and it's just waiting for us
I just
inside.
need a little break from. I need a break from eating out. Period.
Yeah, both of us. We are so sick of eating out. We just ate out with our family. We went to our granddaughter's dance
Christmas
recital,
program.
Christmas program, and we took them out for dinner. And my gosh, it was 7:00. So we're doing this live from our RV.
And Bo wants us to get home. He wants his dinner.
Bo is at home. So that's been pretty funny. I hope you guys. Chris, thank you, Phyllis, for keep reminding them to put question in front of the questions so we can find them easier. Here's one. Do you still have your e-bikes? We do.
Yes.
We haven't heard you mention anything about them lately, and nor do we see how you hauled them with your LTV. In a trailer hitch, just like we did in our Class B. I don't do a story on them every week. They're part of our lifestyle, of our RV lifestyle.
Well, you could show somebody how you hook them up and how you load them up.
I did that. It's in that video.
Oh.
I did
You
it.
showed it on the Roadtrek.
Yeah, I guess if you want to see it, it's pretty boring putting a hitch on and putting two bikes on. But
And
we
you
do
take
have
the
them.
batteries off.
And we do talk about it every week because Rad Power Bikes is one of our sponsors on the podcast, the Wednesday podcast that comes out. So we talk about that, and every week we talk about it. So We love our e-bikes. They're just a great way to get around and see stuff. And
And
the downside,
we just had a plumber at our house, and he was admiring our e-bikes because he was a catcher for 13 years, and he said he wrecked the cartilage in his knees, and how he, as a young guy, would like an e-bike.
yeah, he said something very poignant. He said he wanted one so he could ride bikes with his
With
kids.
family, with his wife and his kids.
He was a catcher, like you say.
A catcher, baseball catcher.
Baseball catcher. So he's squatting down and he
For
wrecked his
13
cartilage.
years, and he wrecked his knees. So not just seniors are using e-bikes.
Richard Pura, who will be joining us at our winter camp out the second weekend of January up at Tequamanon Falls in Michigan. How are the lithium batteries working, he asks. Colleen, I'll see you in January. They're working great. We're actually on them right now in the parking lot here at this restaurant. Temperature outside.
So if the lights go off, they'll know they're not working?
Yeah, if the lights go off, if you lose my signal, that's not because of the batteries. It's because of the internet connection. That too many people are on the internet. But batteries have been working great, and we love them for that little extra. They last longer than regular batteries.
They're lighter.
They're lighter. There's just lots of reasons, and so we're really pleased with them. I'm just looking for the ones who have questions, and if you're making a comment and you have somebody put a question mark. I just have to go.
That works.
Please type in question though, because that's how I'll find them. What are your thoughts about YouTube rules about COPA? COPA is a new thing that has come out about videos directed at kids, and there's lots of penalties for YouTube channels that don't mark their videos as suitable for or targeted at kids. Well, my videos are not targeted at kids, so I have a general thing when I post every video. It says, no, this is not meant for kids. So it doesn't bother me at all. But for YouTubers who are aimed at kids, you got to be considerate of that, because they're trying to keep kids from getting too much junk out there, and there is a lot of junk on YouTube. So it doesn't affect me at all. I just mark, because my videos, none of them are meant to go at kids. Rebecca, the windows behind you, there's that question. These windows right here, that's a Murphy bed. This whole thing, the right behind my head there, this thing.
This is our table, our kitchen table.
This comes down and makes into a dinette. Right where my lap would be. And this whole thing is actually the bed that comes down on a big, thick, king-size mattress. And we have these two windows. And
we are the only ones.
Yeah, Rebecca said, is that something you did yourself? No. Or did the dealer do that? No. Thanks. And she's in Plymouth, Wisconsin, Rebecca. No, when we bought this unit, we bought it in April, it came like that. And we thought they were all like that until we started getting questions from other people who have Unities. And then we asked Dean. I said, Dean, how come, other Unities don't have it? And he said, well, we wanted to see what it was like. So we just put it on yours. Nobody told me about it. I thought it was all standard.
We thought everybody had the two little windows, and we love the windows.
They, for some reason, don't like the way it looks, but I do. I really like it. Let's air in.
I wouldn't like it if you didn't have the windows, because I want to be able to look out. I want some air.
I think it would be a deal breaker if I didn't have those windows.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it without the windows.
So if you're thinking about buying one and they don't have it, say you want those windows or you don't want it. See what they say. They're going to get mad at me, but we really like it.
We love the windows.
Yeah.
Very grateful that we have them.
Yeah, it's great. All right, so I'm looking for questions. Please type in question, but here's Q. Got the rad power bikes and love them. Any particular paved trails in Florida that you'd recommend? Let's see. Any of the rails to trails. Where's the one we just saw? We just camped at, what was that place, that state park? Anastasia Island in St. Augustine. Had a couple of trails there, some paved trails. I think there was a big bike lane right along the coastal highway.
Seems
at
like
Gamble
there'd be an
Rogers.
app that would tell you where the bike lanes are
Look,
paved.
but they'll also, Rad Power Bikes will also handle, rails to trails. That's fine, not gravel, but it's I don't know what they coat it with, but that works good. So almost any rails to trails will work, and it's all good. Nancy Jenkins joins us. It's cold where she is in Canada. Okay. Who can I ask to put the foil insulation on my windows in the van. She's talking about Reflectex, and we will be doing that for our winter camp out. And that is, Nancy, you do that yourself. You buy a roll of it from a big home supply store, measure your windows, cut it out, and just push it up against them. There's nothing to do it. Look on the channel here. I've got a video on how easy it is to do. I mean, I'm not allowed to do any handyman stuff in this thing, and Jen let me do that. That's how easy it is. So just look at that video. It's in our Winterizing playlist about using Reflectex, and we'll be doing it for this unit that we have, this new unit that we bought. We'll be doing that before our January camp out, which is coming up pretty quickly.
Coming up quick.
Yeah. Question, did you change the LTV, I think she means shower head, to shut off flow while showering? No, we don't need to do that because it's instant hot water.
Well, there's just a handle. You turn the water off, turn the water on.
Yeah, it's just like at home. You turn the handle on, it's on, and it's instant hot. And you turn it off if you want, but you don't need to do that.
And it's easy to adjust the hot and cold.
Yeah,
it's not scalding.
Yeah, so we don't. I mean, like I say, we get 4 to 5 showers each, so that's 8 to 10 showers before we've exhausted our freshwater tank, and that is also using it for cooking and washing dishes and stuff like that. So it's pretty good. Eric Miller says the wife very happy with your answers. I don't know what answers he means, but good. Edward, question: did you change the? Oh, that already did that. Okay, I'm sorry. See, I'm looking for questions. Here's one. Head west on 90. Do you bleach your freshwater tank and lines? How often? Good question. Usually at the start of the season, I will put just like a tablespoon of bleach in a gallon of water and run it through the system. And then if we've been in a lot of really hot weather, we'll do it midsummer, end of July, early August.
If you're someplace really hot.
Yeah, because it can get skunky. So I do that.
Couple of days, 3 days.
And
depends on where you are.
How long can you stay in the unity before you start feeling homesick? Well, this is our home.
It depends on you. If it's rainy, dreadful weather or something, then you get a little cabin fever. But then you go to museums or, you find places to go.
Yeah.
And then I think it depends, whether you're the type that likes to be around the kids and the grandkids and like to be home or not. I mean, I gave up on having pots of flowers. I gave up on my garden because I'm not home to water.
Good. Lots of you saying that it sounds good, the microphone. This is like, I don't need to have an external mic. They're touting this as being a really good quality mic, and I've tested it before and I'm impressed. So that's good. Hope you're loving your new laptop. That's the one I'm eyeing as well. Kat, this is my dream laptop. I did the video edit on the video that just went up yesterday on the Forgotten Coast. I edited that on here, and I'm finishing up editing the movie that we're making on my grandson's senior year of football, and it's just been so nice. It's so fast. This has 64 gigs of RAM memory, so that is awesome. All right, I'm looking for more questions. I'm skipping over everything else, and this is somebody was talking. I'll tell you what, you can put question, or then if you're making a comments like this one, put comments at the front. And Jan has a great point. She says, we used Uber Eats at a campground in Lakeland, Florida, and had food delivered from Carrabba, the Italian place. Jen, do you remember who Jan is? From Destin? They just got a brand new Unity.
Yeah.
I just saw your pictures on our Facebook group, Jan, and underneath that Spanish moss, looks great. We'll be back in Destin in
end of February.
Middle of February, maybe January. We'll be in Florida, but we're going to be down in some other spots of it. So, that's another thing. Uber Eats will deliver to your campground. There's a lot of restaurants to do. There's a bunch of other ones. Thank you to all of you who are saying hi and commenting on the microphone sounding good. So cue or question or comments. Traveling with Lucy, what is I'm sure it's your MPG. 14 to 15 is what we average pretty much consistently, no matter whether the freshwater tank is full or whether it's not. Um, in a stiff headwind with everything full, I might drop down to 13 and a half briefly, but mostly 14 to 15. And that's pretty good. Hey, Chris Colley just posted a link. You can scroll down in the comments if you want to see our video on the e-bikes, how we use them, how easy they are to put on a rack. It's there. I just haven't felt the need to do another one because, not much has changed. They're still great bikes, and that's how they work. Bill Sprague, how can I find the podcast? Thanks, Bill, for asking that. Simplest way, Bill, is to go to iTunes, search podcasts, and just look for RV Podcast. That's what it's called, the RV Podcast. You'll find us there, and then subscribe to it. And that way you'll know new episodes come out every Wednesday. But just go to iTunes, search for under podcasts, search for RV Podcast. You'll find us. We're on other apps. If you use whatever the podcast app you use for Android, whether it's Stitcher, Tuned In, we're on Spotify. We're on all of them. So search for RV Podcast. And please, when you do that, hit subscribe. Michael Stanley, you missed their question. Do you miss the clever paperclip disguised as a control knob on the old Mercedes chassis? I never used that. Once. Never.
What is this?
Did you know that on the old Mercedes there was this little, like a paperclip? It was this big plastic thing. I never used it once. And Mike says you could put the toll tickets in it, but we just put them in one of the coffee containers, and there are lots of other places to put it. But no, I didn't see that. I did see an earlier question from him, so that's good. And I'll probably miss some questions because we do our best, but we can't hit all of them. It's just hard to talk and answer and
I can't
scroll.
see that far away.
I'm getting married on December 28th. Congratulations. Christmas marriage. And heading to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for our honeymoon. Just wondering if you have been there. Yes. And if there are any places that you recommend once there. I'm not sure what campgrounds are open in the winter.
Just have to check into it.
But Gatlinburg is a huge tourist town.
It's going to be busy.
And yeah, there are a lot of people will be there between Christmas and the holidays. So it's a huge tourist town. There's lots of restaurants, lots of big shows. Gatlinburg is kind of like the
Vegas.
Well, not Vegas. What's the place in the Ozarks that we go to? That everybody goes to down in Missouri. What is that? Why can't I remember that? Branson. It's kind of like Branson. So there's lots of places. There's lots of congestion. In terms of places to camp, I would look in Cherokee, which is, you don't need a national park sticker to get through, or a permit to get in. To go through the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, you don't need any kind of a permit. Just go through. And Cherokee is on the other side of the park from Gatlinburg, so it's like 20 miles. And there's a couple of nice parks there that we've stayed at. And just do a search for RV parks in Cherokee, North Carolina. And that was good. Well, there you go. See, Davis, Red has a great video on the Hollywood rack and show it behind a big flat RV. So there you go. No point in doing it myself, doing another one, because I've kind of already seen it and it's there. Do you guys mostly cook when on the road or eat out? Right now,
depends on where we're going.
Well, for the last 2 months, we've mostly cooked in the RV.
Right.
Like Jen said at the very top of the thing, we're sick of eating out. Mm-hmm. Why are we sick of eating out?
Because you can't get good food.
You can't get good food.
I would prefer not to eat fast food.
It's not healthy.
No.
I mean, it's most food is not healthy. If we have time, we'll stop and we'll use Yelp or one of the apps to find a good restaurant, and we'll check out the reviews. But we have found, and we used to probably eat out a lot more, but we found I'm trying to eat basically a ketogenic diet, which is no carbohydrates, no sugars,
no bread,
no flour, and it's no carbs. but it's just easier to cook, and there's more room to eat in this than there was in our Strict and our Class B. So we have a little, that thing back there is a table, and we can set this area up as a little dinette, and so we kind of like cooking in it.
It's convenient.
And the food is better. Are your lithium batteries on a climate controlled space? No, they're right underneath the front step. They're above they're not exposed to the elements, but it's not climate controlled. And we've been down in the 20s for the last 2 weeks, pretty much, where we are in Michigan, and they're working great. I have no problems with them. And we're taking it up camping in the UP pretty soon.
Excuse me.
All right, here's a question. Again, please put question at the top of your whatever you enter in text so I can know it. Do you know of any reports that compare gas mileage on 2 and 4 rear wheels? What's the rest of the question? I cut off before it. As well as gas, diesel. Love your videos. Thank you. Rick, I don't, and frankly, I'm not really very interested in it. I know that 4 wheels in the back ride much better. They're much more stable. We've had 2, and now we have 4, and the dualies keep it from porpoising. They help you. I would not have a Sprinter without 4 wheels. So the mileage is not a factor at all. I do know that on our 2-wheeled Sprinter, which was a 2006 model, the first one we got, a used one we bought, we got 18 to 20 miles per gallon in diesel. But you add it up. How much do you drive your RV? How much are you spending for it? How much do you really save in terms of 13 miles a gallon, 14 miles a gallon versus 18? Trust me, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not an issue. So from our viewpoint, I'd never go back to 2. Geeks on Tour, Jim and Chris. Hey guys, how are you? We just left Florida and thought of you guys. We were up at up north of Daytona Beach, and wish we had got you guys. Statement, not a question, a statement. My boxer said they want Bo in live videos. Hello from Louisiana. I'm in trouble right now with Bo. Can I tell him that?
Oh.
I'm going to get in trouble now with you guys. But I posted on our Instagram account, and I don't know if you guys follow us on Instagram or not, but it's RV Lifestyle Mike. RV Lifestyle Mike. I have it up here, and I thought I had it, but I guess not. I just posted a little while ago a picture of Bo at the base of a tree. He treed a cat. And all these cat lovers are saying, put that dog on a leash. That's not nice. Guys, it's my yard.
Okay.
The cat has no right in our yard.
He's the cutest cat. He's
a
gray
cute cat.
And he's got white and little white paws. He is very, very cute. And we have 3 door walls one side of our house. And he sits by the door wall about 2 feet from Bo, and he just sits there and looks at him.
And
Bo just looks back at him. Well, I let Bo out. I didn't know the cat was somewhere in our yard, but Bo treated him. But I mean, Bo's not vicious. It's just that cat's been sitting there looking at him.
Yeah.
Quite a few days.
Yeah, I don't think Bo would hurt the cat, but the cat got scared and the cat came right down. I brought Bo in. But you know what? It's my yard. And if Bo trees a cat, great. Somebody else got mad at me because Bo was chasing shorebirds in our Saturday video. That's what dogs do.
I think he's going to be chasing them in next Saturday's video too.
Yeah, he's going to be chasing.
He likes to chase things.
That's the way life is.
Chases us.
Yeah, he chases us, and there are just too many anal people out there. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, Bo is home tonight, George.
So we got to get out of here and get home.
Yeah, so we're going to probably cut this short in a little bit because we got to go in and feed him dinner. He missed dinner. We had to go to our granddaughter's dance recital tonight.
Christmas program,
and it was awesome.
Delightful.
And so we took our 2 granddaughters and our daughter and son-in-law out for dinner, and then 7 o'clock came, and fortunately I brought the RV. So remember, I tell you, we use this RV for errands all the time. We use this as a second vehicle, and so it's nice. The heater's on. It's very cold outside, but it's very comfortable in here. And
I didn't bring Bo because he would have been locked up in here from 1 o'clock.
So he's got
what
more.
Is it now?
Maybe the cat will come by and he can look out the window at the cat.
Yeah.
If we got a cat, it would probably be a
he'd
good
love
thing.
it.
He'd love a cat. Yeah.
He'd love it.
So, Judy, I saw a video with Dean recently where he was showing a new 2020 model with the Murphy bed and it had the windows there. Really, we got to go look at that because we've been giving him the business on it, telling him that we're telling everybody to just tell Leisure you want
the
them.
Windows.
Yeah, these windows right there, you want them like that.
You want to look out and you want the ventilation.
Absolutely. The Geeks on Tour asking, will you be in Florida in January, February? Yeah, we'll be at the Tampa RV show. We'll be there I think it starts the third week of January. I can't remember that. The 11th, 11th.
We get home Sunday from Tequamatum Falls, and I think like Monday you want to leave for
Yeah, we get home from our winter camp out on a Sunday, and Monday we leave for Tampa. So we'll be in Tampa from Tuesday through Sunday, and then we'll be. Then we got to do a little more traveling, and but mostly we'll be in Florida all of February, March, and
got to go to Texas.
Got to go to Texas in April.
They don't want to hear this.
RV Super Show in April in Phoenix. That's about as far as we got. Jan Anderson, what do you use to block out the sun heat in the moonroof in the shower and then the van fence? Well, the moonroof up there, the sky roof.
No, we're talking these fans. We've got 2 fans. We haven't done that yet, but you could just get a little piece of
Reflectex could fit in there.
Construction paper, or cardboard.
Or get Reflectex, put that in there. That would fit.
Just cut it and then stick it up.
You're talking in the Fantastic fans, I think. Yeah. Doesn't bother us, but
it hasn't bothered us yet. And if anything, I like it in the bathroom because it's like a nightlight.
Yeah, it does. It really does help. Have you any future plans for Western Canada or Alaska? Alaska we struggle with every year.
We're never going to make it to Alaska.
Well, we want to go, but the problem is it takes 2 months really to do it the way we would want to do it. However, Western Canada, yes, we do have plans to be there late summer, in August, maybe early September. We plan to at least be in British Columbia. We do plan to be there. We haven't figured it all out. Yeah, we do want to be there a lot, but we haven't figured it completely out. So it's good. As Dean mentioned, the possibility of a 4x4.
Whoa! There goes a cushion.
Cushion fell off my lap. See, I told you.
They're slippery.
As Dean mentioned, hold
it up high.
No, I'm gonna have to put it like so.
Okay, I'm not going to put the other cushion because you're.
Let's get this
with danger.
Yeah, I had 2 cushions on there.
There we go.
Yeah, we had to throw the cushion up on the. That was a cushion that fell off. So
stacking 2 slippery cushions on top of each other.
We'll just kind of do this.
One works just fine.
Yeah, one works just as well, I guess. Has Dean mentioned the possibility of a 4x4 LTV in the future? I don't know, but it wouldn't interest us at all. We
don't feel that we need it, but a lot of people want the 4x4, so I wouldn't be surprised if they do offer it.
Now, we did have a 4x4 in the Roadtrek CS Adventurous XL that we had before, and we did not like it. It rode it was terrible suspension, very stiff.
So it needed something different with the suspension.
And we found even in snow in Michigan, we just didn't need 4x4 because these vehicles are heavy enough that the traction is really good. Hi guys, what's the biggest changes you've seen in the RV full-time world? Have you seen a large growth in RVing full-time since you started? Thank you. Have a great evening. We sure have. We sure have. In March it'll be 8 years that we've been doing this. Now we're not full-timers. We are 80% timers. 8 months of the year we're pretty much on the road. We're here in Michigan. We came just before Thanksgiving, a day or so before Thanksgiving. We'll stay really until we hit off for the Upper Peninsula camp out second week of January. And we use that time to visit with family, visit with friends, do all of our annual checkups with the various doctors. But in those 8 years, we have noticed a dramatic increase in the number of full-timers. And I think for a lot of reasons. I think technology is a big part of it, that more and more people are able to work from the road. More and more companies are allowing remote work. Also, boondocking, the technology of lithium batteries, has allowed people to stay off the grid and have all the conveniences they need longer. So big increase. And then more and more young people, this has become quite a craze to be, the van life craze with maybe couples, a young couple, millennials who they're used to working remotely. So a big craze. And in fact, on the podcast this week, we'll talk a little bit about that. We've got Heath Paget on from the RV Entrepreneurs. And Heath's a young, I think if he's not a millennial, he's close to it. And he is full time, he's close to full time on the road. And we talk a little bit about that. He talks about, they just had a baby. We're going to talk on the podcast Wednesday about traveling in an RV with a baby. So it should be pretty fun. All right. Again, Phyllis says, thanks for typing question in all caps. It makes it much easier to find than just lower caps. Why do you have New Mexico plates on your RV? Somebody asks us this every single week.
I can't wait till we get rid of those things.
Because we bought the RV in New Mexico. And New Mexico has a deal. You don't have to be and we were traveling for months on end after we left New Mexico. So we bought it there. You don't have to pay sales tax in New Mexico. We weren't sure where we were going to make our major domicile, whether it was Florida, could have been New Mexico. We were looking for the best place. We've decided ultimately we're going to stay full-time in Michigan. And so I think I'll probably end up getting Michigan plates when these are
Michigan
expired.
is a high-tax state.
High-tax state. We're either going to do Florida, where we have a place, and or we'll do Michigan. But I'm not doing anything until it's time for a renewal. So that's why we have it. But people are so nosy.
No, it's a logical question. It's a different colored license plate.
It's a cool license plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I wanted the turquoise one. They have turquoise with red. I was hoping to get that.
Now the deal is, if you're thinking of doing that to try and save money, don't do that, because if you live in one state, all the time, New Mexico will let you buy the plates, but if you're full time, and that means 6 months or more in one state, many of the high tax states will still make you pay on what you purchased. We don't spend 6 months in Michigan, so that's why. And New Mexico has a deal where you don't have to be a full-time resident to buy it. You just have to buy. You have to buy and take possession of the RV in New Mexico, which is what we did. So anyway, that's one of the things. I'm allergic to bleach. What other things would you recommend for your tanks? There's a bunch of other products. One of them is called Spring Fresh, I think. And you could just do a search on RV tank sanitizers. I don't know whether you might not be allergic to whatever's in those things either, but check it out. There are a lot of other products. Bleach is just the simplest and the cheapest. Any problems booking campsites in Florida? Oh yeah. We're having problems. 1,000 trails all booked up around Orlando, included with Lake Louisa State Park. That's why I don't like 1,000 trails. Yeah, you can pay $300 for a regional membership, but try and get in those places. They're booked up. Try and do it as a walk-in, and you might actually find a spot. But we're not a big fan of 1,000 trails. We've stayed in them, but it's not our type of camping. Most of the state parks in Florida and Arizona this time of year, they're booked up. They're booked up a year in advance. That's why we like boondocking so much. Florida's a tough place for boondockers. Right now, it's pretty easy to get into a lot of the state parks because nobody's there for December. Nobody's there really right around Thanksgiving time. But start looking in January and February and March, and you'll find them all booked up. Very booked. Reserve America is a great spot to check with. Most of the Florida state parks are on the Reserve America system, so you can try them. Try it every day. There's cancellations every day. When we were at Gamble Rogers, we talked about that. They're booked up a year in advance. But even in the beachfront loop that we were at, there were several vacancies every day. People who just didn't show up. Yeah, people who reserved the spot, didn't show up, didn't bother to cancel. But you're able to get in. A lot of people do cancel, and most of them will have one or two openings. So it's just a matter of checking every day. But it's tough. It's tough. There's not enough campgrounds in places like Florida. Jennifer, my husband got heated gloves, and so far he loves them.
I wonder what brand.
We did on the Instagram again. And if you've never followed us on Instagram, it's RV Lifestyle Mike. Jennifer did a video, an update on the heated gloves. You've had now 4 different pair. 4. Yeah. None of them have worked. And a pair of socks. That didn't work either.
Maybe it's just me.
How can it just be you?
I'm hoping there's a good brand out there somewhere. I'm out almost $139 for these gloves that the left one or one of them works and the other one doesn't work. It works for about 5 minutes and then the battery goes out. And you only have a 30-day warranty. You can't get a hold of these people.
Yeah.
I'll keep trying to get a hold of them.
Question. Please compare your Roadtrek to your Unity. What is best and why? Well, a lot of it depends on how you're going to use
A
it.
Roadtrek is a B.
Yeah.
The Unity is a C. You've got more room.
So more room is the first thing.
The
More room.
Roadtrek looks like a van. So if you're not supposed to have an RV in your driveway, or if you want to be a little more discreet, with a Roadtrek looking like just a gray or white or silver
Stealth
van.
camping, it's called. Stealth camping, yeah, that's good.
And you don't have to put an awning on it because a lot of places they don't want an RV in your driveway.
Or on the street.
Right.
So it's easier to stealth camp with them. For me, the big reason with the Unity is there's more room. Like I said, this works down into a dinette. I can use this as an office and spread out and work all day in it, and it's comfortable. It's not having to juggle the laptop on my lap and my video stuff spread out all over. There is a full king-size bed that comes down, this Murphy bed in this unit. We have a rear lounge area back there. You can't see it right now. Full kitchen, 2 TVs.
We have a nice screen door.
Screen door, a real door. And it, I will also say quality. There's no comparison in the quality. This unit, we've put 21,000 miles almost on this now since April. I've not had one single issue. The only thing that happened is the wind caught my door the other day in Florida, and we lost the little hydraulic plunger that opens and closes doors. We replaced it. It's fine.
My pet peeve with our Roadtrek was the window would only crack open an inch.
About like that.
And I thought, why does the window? And then I looked at the older ones, and they opened up, a lot. Because I like fresh air. I'd rather have my windows open than have the air conditioning on. So somebody cut corners by having windows, the umbrella windows that only opened an inch. And man, I just felt that was the worst place to cut corners was with the windows. Because I want windows that open up so I can get some air.
Yeah. And
these, I think, doesn't everybody else have windows that open up?
they usually open up more than the Roadtreks did. And we talked to them about that.
Yeah,
One of the reasons,
one
of the things we
why.
were on the road with Roadtrek, they wanted us to kind of tell them and give them a lot of feedback, but they never did anything about it.
Well, it costs more money to have a different window.
So obviously we bought this with our own money, and or I should say we're making the payments to the bank, with this. But so that tells you one thing about it, that this obviously is the one we preferred rather than another Class B. That doesn't mean we're not going to get another RV. We are debating among ourselves right now. Should we try other RVs, because we could probably trade this in and not lose a whole lot and get another RV, and that way we're trying different brands, different models. We've been intrigued by the possibility of the new Ford Transit, the newer 2020 models of those.
You just love new things.
I love new things. But
he does.
Anyway, to go back to that original question, this was our choice, and for me the big difference was room and comfort. Room, comfort, they kind of go together. Room and comfort and quality. Just absolutely
and I think
solid
I
quality
think
on this.
It's tastefully decorated. I mean, we've got the light, but I also like their darker brown.
Yeah.
Wood too, but I just wanted it to feel big.
Okay, question. How easy is it to RV with a cat? I guess easier than with the dog. Yeah, I think it is easier with the dog. But I was wondering about the drawbacks and what to take into consideration with
Depends
felines.
on your cat.
Thank you for not getting mad
personality.
that Bo barked and chased and scared a cat up a tree in my yard. That's, cat was not hurt. Cat's great. Lots of people
travel with cats.
If you check out
Some with birds.
Yeah, some people travel with birds. In fact, our friend Nancy Jenkins up there from Alberta, she has I think a parrot that she travels with. But anyway, cats would like that. Cats are much easier to manage. They're pretty independent creatures. The big thing for me is the kitty litter. You got to find it so it's not sliding all over. but I'm sure that's easy. Lots of people cat. Our friend Camp Skunk has a cat. If you look at the Nomadic Fanatic channel on YouTube, he travels with Jax, fattest cat I've ever seen, by the way, huge cat, and a real character cat. And cats take to this life too. So,
And don't say a dog is easier, because like our daughter has a dog that gets car sick.
yeah. What town is the Forgotten Coast in? Well, it really starts just south of Panama Beach, Florida, and it runs just a little south of around the Big Bend area of the peninsula to near the town of Carabel, and in there is Apalachicola and that whole area. So it's not necessarily a town; it's kind of a region. They call it the Big Bend area of Florida.
And do I say to people that, like, when the tide goes out, you get the smell of the ocean?
Yeah,
There is a smell when the tide goes out.
yeah, they have big tides there. At least when we were there last week, it was particularly big. I think we had a full moon, and there's a little decaying seaweed smell sometimes that comes with it, but didn't bother Bo and me. Bill, are there any good boondocking spots? I didn't see any. Not saying there aren't any, but we stay at one of our favorite campgrounds is Ho Hum. That's the name of the park, and it's in Carabel, near Apalachicola, about 20 miles south of Apalachicola.
And it's just for older people.
Yeah, somebody said it's only for seniors. Somebody said they got sued about it, but I don't know whether that's true or not.
I don't know. Somebody told us that, so we just presumed it to be true.
Yeah, I don't know. But we like that spot because you can get a spot right on the front of the water. But even the ones that are, on the loop, they're only a few feet from the water. And there's a nice wild beach there that you can take Bo, and it's great.
Well, we took Bo there and let him run. We have a 65-pound dog who needs to run.
Planning snow. Question planning snow. I have no
I
idea.
hope that we get to see some snow.
I
I
don't
don't
know
want to
what
go
that-
south until we see snow.
I have no idea what that means. What's the best tow service that we should join? Larry, they're all the same. They all use the same companies, basically. So if you buy a new RV, you're usually covered with a tow package for a couple of years. If you join Good Sam, they give you one. If you join Escapees, you can get one. If you join the FMCA, you can get one. But they're all pretty much the same. So shop around. I have Good Sam, but I also have coverage because we bought this unit new. I have 2 years of road service with this through Leisure Travel Vans. And so it depends on if you're buying on an older vehicle. Look at the Escapees RV Club. Look at the FMCA. They're all pretty good, and they do a pretty good job. Nancy corrects me. It's not Manitoba. She's in Alberta.
Sorry.
There you go. Sorry about that. But anyway, you do have a parrot, right, Nancy? I know that. In our Unity TB, that's for twin bed. Late to the show, drove into Central Standard Time in Alabama, heading to New Orleans, trying to keep the 3:30 rule. Well, good luck with that, Eileen. That 3:30 rule is tough. All right, back to questions. I got to look for questions because we're almost out of time. Is it cost effective to buy a toll pass to go to Key West, Florida? If yes, how much should I buy? One time only? Don't bother. Now, on the podcast this week, you talked about, in our News of the Week segment, you talked about a new RV pass that's out there that works on most systems. I have not, other than looking that the company that makes that pass charges you $97 to get it, and then you got to load it up with tolls. But that would be nice, then you wouldn't have to worry about tolls. But for one time down to the Keys, I would just do it myself. If you're going to do it a lot, then I'd look into a toll pass, but I don't think you'd save that much money. Have you had any long breakdowns on the road? Not with this unit. We've had, well, I don't know what you mean by long. We've had 2 breakdowns, ironically, both in Montana with 2 different Roadtreks. One was the used one we bought.
And that was our fault.
I was downshifting too much, going up and down a couple of the hills. The second one was, we never did figure out what happened with it, but
Nope.
They've ended up fixing it. I don't remember what the cause was. In both cases, we found Mercedes dealerships, and we had to delay our trip and stay for a couple 3 days. I think they were both around the weekend, but they fixed them and off we went.
Stayed at a campground. They let us borrow a car.
They let us borrow a car, yeah, and it was there. All right, I'm looking real quick because we're gonna have to end this thing.
Because Bo is getting hungry.
Got to feed our dog. Did you try Android Auto? Ours doesn't work. Some friends owned a new Pleasureaway and theirs didn't work as well. I have not tried it yet. I remember you've asked me that, Marilyn, and I've got to try it. I do have an Android phone. I don't know that I have the plug for it for this thing, but I will try and do that. If I just have to remember to bring out the Android and give it a case here. Okay, I'm looking. I know there's a lot of words on the screen, but if I don't see question or comment, I got to pass them by. Most of you are kind of talking with each other or just checking in. I'm looking for a van to use as my daily driver. Any HOA friendly options you can recommend for my solo travels? Bill, get a stealth version of any Class B RV. And by stealth, that means no awning. That means no decals that indicate it, like the RVIA inspection. You want it to look as much as you can like a passenger van. Many homeowners won't let you even keep a passenger van. That's why, I would not live in a place that makes you do that. So to get around all that stuff, your van can't look like a van or an RV. And that's going to be it. All right. Let's see. What did you find? How did you find the driving in Ontario, Canada? Great. Slow. Canada, they have like a 100-kilometer speed limit, which sounds but that's only it's under 70. So it's slow. But the road system in Canada and Ontario in particular is great.
Congested around Toronto.
Very congested. Have you decided on the Ask Us schedule for the rest of December? My significant other considers this need to watch as an addiction. Oh, that's lovely to hear. Yeah, we're going to try and do it. I don't have a calendar. We'll try and do this. We've talked this over, and we talked over it just the other day with Phyllis, who handles all of our social media, and she's here moderating along with Chris tonight. And you guys are kind of a special audience. You're kind of our core group. We're able to talk a lot more freely with you, and I think many of you come on. We always end up with about 1,200 people watching the live show by morning, and over the week about 3,000 or so watch it. Our videos get more, but you guys are kind of special, so we're going to try and do this. We might not do full hour-long versions of it, but we're going to try and do this right on through the rest of December. We're going to try and do it every week.
We're going to try to do it every week through December.
And even in January. Now, there'll be times where we're on the road.
We're on an airplane or something.
We're on an airplane, or we're driving in the middle of the night trying to get someplace that we can't do it, and we always will announce it. But you've made us we love doing this too. You made us feel welcome, and this is a way for us to really check in with you guys too. So that's great. Have you been on the Wisconsin Badger Ferry lately? We have been on it twice. We didn't go on it this year. We went on it last year and a couple years before that. Mm-hmm. And we've loved the ferry. We love to take that.
It's expensive.
Goes from Ludington, Michigan, which is about right next to, on my little finger there, next to the ring. Right about there in Michigan's, I got to make my map, make it look like the mitt. Right about, just like little finger there. Straight across to Wisconsin and Lake Michigan, and it's a great ride.
And it's going to be a tragedy when that ferry no longer runs.
Yeah, it is. Hey, since we are trying to get more subscribers and more people to notice it on YouTube, would you give us a thumbs up on this video? Please hit like, and then there's a little thumbs up button, and let us know. That helps us with YouTube. And I say this every week, but if you haven't subscribed, would you please do that? We count every subscriber as just a gift, and it's very encouraging to us to see the subscribers growing. Also, there's a little bell icon, and when you click that, then you get notified. If we're coming on live, and sometimes we go on live, during the week too, you'll get notified, and if you're available, you can watch it, or at least to check it later. And you'll also get notified when new videos are up. So please subscribe, give us that thumbs up, and that is a big help. All right, time for just a couple more. Kevin, favorite state park in the Destin Panhandle area for camping? Well, Henderson Beach in Destin. It's hard to get in. The sites are not on the water, but they're really nice. Down a little south of there, Grayton Beach State Park is a beautiful park as well. Again, the sites are not on the water, but they're not too far. In Destin, right across the 98 bridge in Destin on the west side, west of Destin, about 2 miles, is the Destin West RV park, and we love that park. It's a high-end park. It's right on Choctawhatchee Bay, and you do have rights to use the beach at the Ramada Hotel, it's now called the Island, I think, right across the street from them. So that's a really good one. So those would be our three that would suggest. There's a couple more up towards Navarre, further west, but in the Destin area, Grayton Beach to the south, Henderson Beach right at Miramar Beach. Oh, there's Camp Gulf, which is at Miramar Beach, and then Destin West RV Park. Boy, I sound like an encyclopedia here. We know that area really well, so that's good. Someone needs to invent an ultraviolet tank light. That's a good idea. There probably is one, Bill, to keep out the bacteria. Yeah, that's good. And RV Executive Chef, did you know that the 50 plus age group is the fastest growing age using YouTube right now? I did. I do know that. That's us. How cool is that in comparison to technology users? Just like 2 years ago, this age group, 50 years old and up, became the fastest growing Facebook group. Now it is on YouTube. You're absolutely right. And you guys are our demographic. I mean, every now and then I'll see the comments from young kids who are really insulting or nasty, and you see them too, I'm sure, sometimes. We try to get those off, but we're finding out. All right, I got to find one more question, and I'm just going to scroll down. Here's somebody asking if you tried rechargeable battery heated gloves. Yes, Maureen, there's a video that we just put on our Instagram account.
But I'm not having luck. And the ones I've got, man, one glove works, the other doesn't. The battery keeps shorting out, and you only got a 30-day warranty. I've got to keep trying to contact.
We've tried 4 different sets of them in the last year.
Send another email in.
Last question comes from Jennifer. I'm very interested in purchasing an RV like yours. I know you did a vlog tour. Can you also do a vlog about routine cleaning and maintenance? Okay, that's both of us, really, though.
Maintenance is, I would think, you.
Okay.
That's, like the step, putting spray on the step and on the glide, and all the things that need to be done. Yeah,
we will do that. And hey, tomorrow the newsletter comes out, and if you've not subscribed to the newsletter, you want to, because it's a special. Really, it's the whole our whole community. And if you get to go to rvlifestyle.com, and you can see where you can sign up. But in that, we're going to announce a really special price for Harvest Hosts, which is the service that we recommend for boondockers. People who want to find a place to boondock. Oh my gosh, place. Awesome places, and that's our favorite. But for those of you who subscribe to the newsletter, look for that tomorrow, and you can take advantage of that. It's right on. There are lots of other questions, and I want to thank you all, but we are out of time, and we've got to go home and feed our dog. Oh my gosh, here's a super chat. I've never had it's $20. Okay, I thought it said 50. $20 from Steve Bitto. It's nice that you say hi to the people that are checking in. It's also very interesting that a lot of people use you as Google. I really enjoy the informational part of your weekly chats. Thank you so much. Steve, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I don't ever push those, but every now and then somebody sees it and they know how it goes, and that means a lot to us to see those. It's great. And it is. I would have to do a 2-hour live thing every Sunday night if we were to just stop and say hello to all those who say hi. So I kind of do the early arrivals.
We don't have some kind of map so that when people say hi, that little lights would go off everywhere that they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
in North America, and I guess we'd need the world, wouldn't we? But
Yeah.
yeah.
Lots of great questions. I'm sorry I can't get to them all. We'll do our best. Come back next Saturday. Next Sunday we'll be here. And look for our second part of our Florida. We're doing some research for our next ebooks, which should be coming out. The first one should be coming out in a couple weeks on the Gulf Coast. Next week we'll have a video on the North Atlantic coast and some great spots, including Gamble Rogers, which we talked about at the very beginning of the program. Thank you, guys. We got to go home and feed Bo.
He's going to be mad.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Got to start saying that.
Yep.
And we'll be by, and we'll see you all towards. Don't forget the newsletter tomorrow, podcast Wednesday, and a new video coming out on Saturday. So God bless you all. Thank you so much.
And happy trails.
Bye-bye.